favor the SAVE Act?
I am in favor of that.
So,
absolutely.
Isn't it true, though, that the way the bill reads right now, many women who are using their married name could not get the documents to prove they are who they say they are?
Oh no, that is not. People are getting birth certificates every single day. The state of Tennessee, you can go online, get a birth certificate. People show IDs in order to pick up pharmacy prescriptions. They show IDs to get government benefits. They show IDs.
Hey, what's up? So Marsha Blackburn lies constantly. She don't do town hall meetings to constituents. I don't know why anybody would vote for that lady. She done been in the Senate for years. She ain't done nothing but harm us Tennesseans and made her gun lobbyists and rich friends richer. She don't care about us because if a politician cared, they wouldn't lie. But I specifically wanted to talk about the SAVE Act. It is essentially a poll tax. And thank God I took some elders, my mom and my aunt, to get their passports prior to Trump getting in office. We talk about that constantly. But what I found among so many of the contradictions with this current administration, Trump wanted to impede on the USPS delivering the ballots. And with the 23 states suing the Trump administration for that, because the federal government, they don't need to be in our elections because elections are led by the states. But they say the Trump administration argues, once they were struck down by the judges, that the 23 states don't have an argument because nothing has happened. They haven't put in any changes when it comes to USPS, like they're wanting to do with the executive order. So they don't have any grounds, is what the Trump administration is saying. Right? They're saying that nothing's happened, so how can the states sue? Nothing has happened. But the Constitution says they don't need to be there anyway. They don't have anything to do with the state elections. But that's the Trump argument, that whatever they're trying to implement hasn't happened. So the states is premature to sue. But on the flip side, they want the SAVE Act to be passed because they're saying that there's widespread voter fraud to help with, the voting ID. It's not just about voting ID because we already show our IDs to vote and or register to vote. What the Trump administration is saying is that voter fraud exists now when it doesn't. You see what I'm saying? And the states that are suing them, and why Congress will not pass the SAVE Act, because widespread voting fraud doesn't exist. So the contradiction that this administration is doing, they're saying the states can't sue them for impeding on the elections because nothing has happened with the EO that they're trying to implement with the USPS and the voting lists from the states and all that stuff. But then they're also saying that widespread voter fraud is going on and the SAVE Act needs to be passed. But there is no widespread voting fraud going on. So the hypocrisy. They're saying the states can't sue because their EO wasn't implemented with the USPS, but yet they want the SAVE Act passed to stop the potential of widespread voting fraud. The states can't sue because the EO hasn't been implemented with the USPS, right? And nothing's happened over the state. They don't have any legal argument because we haven't done anything yet. But they want the SAVE Act passed because of the potential of voting fraud, even though non-citizens can't vote already. You see the hypocrisy of it all? Just read what I've screen recorded. Straight hypocrisy, straight contradiction. It's not about voting fraud. It's about control. They want to control the elections, but per the Constitution, elections can only be led by the states, period. And if you are a politician in office right now, you swore to uphold the Constitution. Whether you're right, left, middle, whatever, honey. The law is the law. And the American people can't go off no freaking potential. You have no legal argument. You sort of uphold the Constitution. Nobody got time to be getting imposed and all that crap off of a potential, because after 60 court cases were lost after that 2020 election, and he's saying it is rigged with no evidence, they again have zero evidence, and they're going off of the potential. And I got time for that. In other words, make sure you are registered to vote. Make sure you vote in these primaries. Make sure you vote come early voting in October, November. Get your asses out there and vote. Take your neighbor and your loved ones with you.